Hey guys, ArchieLuxury on the Pluta channel. Today guys, I'm doing a paid review. This is paid review 22 QA4. 22 QA4. Now, before we start this quick wristwatch check, I'm wearing my Milgauss Z Blue. Hi Arch, please don't use my full name. I'm a superhero and I don't want people to know it's me. Your recent call for support got me thinking about my watch collection, and I would love to hear your thoughts on it. And if possible, answer a question towards the end. My love for watches goes back many years. I won't bore you with that story, but know that the watches I have now were not chosen casually. By the way, I'm 63, retired, and live in a place where no one gives a shit about watches. The current collection: number 1, Rolex Deep Sea James Cameron. This is my main watch. I love everything about it, and I'm fortunate that it fits my wrist. I wore a Submariner for years, and this replaced it. It was also my first intro into the ceramic age. Next piece, Rolex Bluesy Pre-Ceramic Two-Tone Submariner, no holes case. I've warmed up to the newer ceramic models, but I still feel that these pre-ceramic ones are more elegant. This watch sees a higher rotation in my lineup. Next piece, a Rolex Pre-Ceramic Two-Tone Submariner. No holes case with genuine slate 30 dial. This watch has a certain contrast and subtleness, and as you are drawn into it, you see the detail and glitter of the gems. To me, it's definitely underrated. Then we've got Rolex Pre-Ceramic Solid Gold Bluesy no holes case. This was a lifetime achievement watch for me. It gets very little wrist time around here, but you can spot it a mile away when I wear it. It is also very safe money unless you fike it up. Correct. Next piece, an Omega Speedmaster Moonwatch. Caliber 1861, Halcyon crystal. I love the story, love the look. I prefer it on a strap. It gives it a class it deserves. I did not have to rent some warehouse space for the presentation, and I did have to rent some warehouse space for the presentation box it came in. Yes, I understand exactly. Next piece, Hoya Monaco Caliber 11, another classic I love. It's got a size and heft to it that is really kind of cool. Yes. Then we've got a Panerai Marina PAM 177 titanium with sandwich dial. I wanted this watch for a long time, but was pissed off at PAM for the lack of response to the replica market. Anyway, I have one now and I love it. It's a perfect watch to wear with different exotic watch straps. Then we've got a Corum Shark Dive Bomber Bubble Watch. Okay, Arch, I threw this one into light your fuse. Corum is easy to hate, but have you ever seen one of these bubble watches? I have. They are funky as sin. They are the coolest. They are substantial and well made. I think sapphire crystal has a really interesting effect on viewing the dial. I know it was expensive. I'll never get my money back, but that's all right. I'm just a grown-up kid anyhow. What's missing? Here is obvious. I could use a GMT or world timer. I didn't set out to cover all the bases, but I do want a Patek 5110 yellow gold. A couple of months back, I asked you about your 5110, but that didn't go well, if you recall. At some point, I'll probably let go of the 16618 and find a way to get a Patek. That will probably be my last watch. The watch market is too crazy and it's no fun anymore. Maybe I should stick to sports cars. So my question is about travel. How does one take 2 to 3 watches with them on vacation? It seems like hotels don't have safety deposit boxes at the front desk anymore, and the safes I've seen in the rooms are really questionable. Any words of wisdom? Anyhow, Happy New Year to you and your viewers. So, what do I think of this collection? I really love this collection. I looked at the picture that you guys are seeing, and it just made me laugh. It was quite a interesting collection. And I gotta say, I like it. The James Cameron, if you can pull it off, that's a big watch. Power to you. The two tones, a bluesy and a surdy, yes. Then we've got the solid gold bluesy, yes indeed. The funny thing is, let me tell you this. When I sold my solid gold, I had a 16618. I got into the world time, and the world time was a little bit more. When I say a little, 1,000, 2,000 Aussie. How much was it? Admittedly, my Submariner didn't have papers, but it was $1,500 more, right? Okay, 2,000 more, I think. The funny thing is, the world time's gone up, the bluesy's gone up, so they've kind of stayed in that cooey. So it is very interesting. So yeah, it's an interesting question. So would I do it again? It's a very, very interesting question. 2 different watches completely. The moon watch, everyone needs an Omega. I love manual wind, yin and the yang. The Hoya caliber 11, that's a beautiful watch, absolutely beautiful. The PAM 177, I'm not a huge, it's nice, it's a nice enough PAM, yeah, I don't have a problem with it. And the Corum, you've got a sense of humor, I must admit that. So what's missing is obviously I could use a GMT or a world time. I gotta be totally honest with you. If you've got such big watches, I'd probably say, see if you can get a 5130. That's the 39.5 mil world time. To me, I always wanted the 37 one because that was the one that was on the magazine. I remember early 2000s, I got a magazine from Patek which had that world time on it. What was it? What was the magazine? What's it called? It's called Watch Time magazine. It was a special Patek issue, and it had that, and I wanted, that's the one I wanted. Now, if you've got really big wrists there, I'd say the 5130 is probably then actually not so far apart in price. That may be a better fit. Admittedly, I think the dial and the guilloche is perfect on the 5110, but the 5130 is a little bit bigger. It's got a different look to it. I gotta be honest with you. They're both amazing. I've had both, and it's funny because I sold my gold sub to get the world time. And I don't regret doing that. I don't regret doing that. I had a white gold one first, then I got the yellow gold one. And I gotta say, yeah, I really love it. That's my kind. It's always been my really special watch. It's my special watch there. So, would I? You know what? I'd probably just go for a standard 5196 Calatrava and keep the solid gold bluesy. That's what I'd probably do, because it's hard to get a nice, the world times are going, that's what I'd probably do. I think that's more usable because it's manual wind. The world time itself, it becomes so valuable. You don't want to use the damn thing, so that's the only thing I find with it. Because I must admit, the the solid gold sub is very versatile. It's a great watch because it's waterproof. Even though it's precious metal gold, it's such a usable, great watch. And I do miss mine. I'm happy I did what I did, but I don't know if I'd recommend it to you. Do you understand what I'm saying? Now, some question is about traveling. How do I take 2 or 3 watches with me on vacation? I got to be totally honest with you. If you're traveling to a different country, you got to be damn careful, because I know people who've gone overseas and they get snagged with duty on these things. Can you believe this? And there was an article about Baselworld. A journalist went over there with a couple of really crappy watches, and he got snagged on duty. And then when he leaves the country, it's a bitch to get that duty back. It's really quite awful. And I, generally speaking, what I would do if I were you, I would generally say to you, your best thing to do is to just take 1, maybe 2 watches. That's what I would probably do. 1 and one in a pocket, a travel pouch, and keep it with you. I wouldn't be taking 3. I reckon 2 is the max. And you'd really want to have proof that you got them from the UK. What country are you in there? Does it tell me? Just having a look here. What country? What did I think you were? I thought you were in the UK. Maybe you're not. Where was he? It doesn't say. I would say realistically, just be damn careful, because different countries, they try and whack duty, and then you come back into another country, into your home country. How do you prove? Now, in Australia, you can actually fill out a declaration which says, before you leave your country, you declare, I've got these expensive goods, and I want you to make this declaration so you can bring them back in. And that's also good when you go to the other country. If ever they say, oh, what are you doing with this? You say, well, I've actually got a form so I can bring them back in. I've done this so that, because these are my own personal watches. So that's what I would do. What do I do as far as safe and things like that go? To be totally honest with you, that is a bummer, a big bummer. And, you know, I've seen these room safes where you can basically take the cabinet out and walk off with it, you know. I mean, the room safe is okay for a small amount of money, but I don't know if I want to put a Patek or a gold sub in it. And I got to be honest with you, when I travel, I actually like to have a nice watch with me. I mean, if I'm traveling, what the hell did I buy this shit for? And I've traveled with my gold sub. I loved it. That's the sort of watch it is. It's a cool thing to travel with. So I gotta be honest with you. I really do think travel with your watches. I mean, you're getting, let's be honest there, we're not getting younger. I'm 50 this year. I love traveling with a nice watch. And I was actually on an aeroplane where we made an emergency landing, and I had my Explorer 2, my 40mm, which I've actually sold since then, but I had a nice comfort knowing, you know, if this plane does crash, at least they're going to be hacking my hand off to get the Rolex off. You know? They can identify me by the Rolex. Yeah, so I got to be totally honest with you. I actually do like to travel. I think if you're going to travel, what's the point in having nice shit? I didn't say use it to mix concrete and mow the lawn. I didn't say that. But, yeah, I think that's... what do you do when you travel? It is tricky. It is tricky, because what do you do? So my honest advice to you is, it could be stolen, you could be faked, okay? Yes, you could. And to have insurance is like 2 or 3% of the insured value. It's so expensive. So my honest advice is, I basically would take one watch with you, preferably, and wear the bloody thing everywhere. And especially with your collection, those Rolexes are waterproof. You've got some great, all of those pieces. You could have one of those pieces on your wrist and not worry at all. So, yeah, great collection. I love the eccentricity of it. I love the eccentricity. Would I get rid of the, I mean, it looks like a really sharp solid gold sub there. Would I get rid, you know, I think it's a beautiful watch. It's different to the Patek. If you think the Patek, I mean, horologically it is better, yes it is. But if you think that's the whole deal, no it's not. That solid gold sub is special. And they're very valuable now. They're extremely valuable. It's probably a lot easier to sell than my the world time. I got to find the right buyer for it. And the truth is, you know, my eyesight isn't what it used to be. I need to wear glasses to bloody read the country zones there. So, yeah, I love my world time. Don't get me wrong, I love my world time. But the sub is pretty damn cool. So I wouldn't just write it off just yet. And to travel, be careful. Be careful. I'd probably say to you, take two. And you've got to be careful. The only thing I could say is sometimes the better hotels generally have better safes and better security. I hope it helps, but there is no easy answer, I'm afraid. So there we go. Thank you for your paid review. Beautiful collection. I love it. Your quorum, that made me, I'll tell you, I actually, many years ago, I had a solid gold quorum Romulus I bought for my wife. So I'm not adverse to quorum. Thank God I got out of that bloody thing. Jesus, that would be impossible to get out of that thing now, you know. Quorum's gone soft. But they were so cool. Quorum was such a cool brand. Okay, guys. See you in the next one. Take care. Love you. Guys, don't forget, get a paid review. $50 US for a paid review. I'll tell you the good, the bad, the ugly. Tell me what you guys think of that. Hey guys, ArchieLuxury on the YouTube sensation, the Paul Pluta channel. Guys, I need you to help me out, guys. I can't survive on Google Ads alone. I need you to request a paid review. $50 US. Look down in the description. $50 US. I will review your collection. I'll tell you what I think of it, and I'll give you some pointers. The other thing is, guys, you can sponsor me on Patreon. Patreon allows you to pay a couple bucks a month, $1, $2, $5, whatever you want. And it keeps me going on YouTube because, guys, I'm in a niche. Nobody can make money out of the views I get. The views are crap because it's a small specialized area, and I don't talk about garbage for the sake of views. Guys, sponsor me on Patreon. Look down below, and I will see you in the next one.